Could you use a quick tip daily? How about a tip that can impact your day? My name is Raphael. Join me as I bring you tips by experts around the world. These experts have shared their knowledge and wisdom with me and will directly share them with you. Make sure to subscribe, like, follow, and comment, and I would love for you to become part of the New Tip Daily community. Good morning, Jaclyn. Thank you so much for being up in the wee hours and being on this incredible show. Thank you.
Oh my God. Thank you, Raphael, for having me. Anything for you.
Oh, wow. All right. Let me give me the lotto numbers. I'm just kidding.
I knew that would be really great.
Right? It would be something else if you did know them, right? Everybody would be knocking on your door every day. What's tomorrow's numbers? What's tomorrow's numbers? And when we consider coming back from the future, what would we do differently?
Ooh.
But that's a topic for a different day.
That's going to be a deeper conversation. I don't know if we have time for that.
Exactly. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I know that you have some incredible tips. Let's get into it.
Okay. So my tip for today for the community and leaders, my biggest tip is communication. Communication is so important. And the tip on communication is communicate your mission and vision with your team, the people in your company, your family, every single one of us. It starts where we are the CEO of ourselves. So we're the CEO of our families, and when we're the CEOs of our companies, we need to communicate our mission which incorporates our vision and our achievement codes, our values that matter to us and matter to you, so that when you are bringing people into your company, you know the values that you want the people to have. And when you're communicating the mission, that's where you're getting everybody excited about what they are doing and why they're coming to work and what their impact is going to be, not only for them, but for the world around us. Our missions really are about the impact that we're making and that we want to make. And we really do want to communicate that. And a lot of times what I see people doing is they write their mission statement out when they are making their company and doing their company, and then they close the book and they're like, okay, I made a mission statement. No, you got to read it every day. If you do a sales meeting, take that communication and communicate your mission, the start of every meeting. Let people feel the energy. And it's amazing what happened.
I love it. Wow, so many nuggets you gave us there. And for my mission statement, it's enhancing communication worldwide. And I follow that every single day. And because that is one of my companies called Speaking Prowess, with every email, with everything, I included when I do anything, I included so that people know, hey, wait a minute. He's serious.
Right.
This is the company. This is the structure. And I love the fact that you brought family into it and that you're the CEO. But what if you're a kid and mom and dad are the CEOs? Do you play a role? Right. And then the other one is, some people don't see family as business, but my God, it is probably the most important business. And do you have weekly meetings?
So really great. So in my family, we have tried weekly meetings, but what we have done is it's the communication almost like at the beginning of the year. And when we get around the dinner table, and because I'm a firm believer in dinner, around the dinner table, we talk about that, our mission as a family. And so we don't do it on a weekly basis. We just do it almost daily because we will have a meal. It's sort of like when we can have that meal together. Sometimes it's the breakfast meeting or, breakfast meal that we're doing together. So it happens when we are sitting down together. So it is to communicate that. And I do believe that your children or kids, teens, obviously when they're infants, it's going to be a little bit harder.
Right.
Right. But when they are old enough to be able to have thoughts and feelings and can communicate, so like 5 years, right? Around that time, it's really important to ask them to get their involvement.
Mhm.
My son, because we started sharing this and doing this, he shared with me, he's like, my mission is to become an NBA player. He wants,
Interesting.
and he works his butt off. I mean, he gets up in the morning, like he left the house, he's up at 4:30 in the morning. He left the house to go work out. And then he goes to school early so he can be in the gym. And he he's doing what he can to
Mm.
be better at a sport. And so he communicated that with me. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest, when he first told me, I was kind of laughing because I was like, you're a Jewish white boy that's not 6'7". Okay, like, but I said, "Go for it. I
Mm.
want you to have your vision. I want you to go after that." But then we also take that in as a family and incorporate that into the mission of our family as to what we are going to be doing. How do we help that vision? And
Mm.
that's one of the key things. If you know as a leader the mission of your team and the team members, you can incorporate that into the individual team mission.
Mhm.
But that's also really where you get to know people and you can say to them, I might be able to say to you, okay, Raphael, guess what? Your mission is awesome, but I see where you want to go. What if we put you over in this area in the
Mhm.
company? Because that might help you more with your mission, where
Mhm.
you want to go. It's not about just the team. It's about molding the people and helping them level up and be their best. And
Mhm.
it starts with mission and making it's company mission, the individual team missions, and then the people's missions within there, and they all need to kind of align together. And when they're out of
Mhm.
alignment, we don't work well together and we kind of butt heads. But when we are aligned, beautiful things happen and the company starts succeeding in a way that they never even imagined it. And
Yeah.
it's incredible.
It truly is, and I gotta say, my gosh, when you talked about your son, not only did you light up, but you were like, "Wow, this kid is truly remarkable." And I told him to go for it, and you said he's not 6'7", he's Jewish, he's a white kid, but you did not chop down his dream.
No, no.
Because it may be that's his dream, and when he gets to a point where he goes, "Wow, you know what? I can't be in the NBA," but maybe if you look, some of the coaches in the NBA are little guys.
Right.
So that might be his if he doesn't become maybe he's look, there's that guy who's what, 6'1", and
Right.
he's a great
That's
basketball player,
right.
but we don't know if he didn't try, if he didn't go for it. The mission is important because that's already teaching him how to succeed in life where many how old is your son?
He is 16.
How many people in their 20s are going, "Oh, nothing's working for me." They don't get up at 4:30 in the morning. They don't do what's needed to
Yeah.
succeed. They want someone to hand it to them.
Yeah.
They think, "Oh, if I just go to work, I should get promoted." No, show up early. Go to work 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes, an hour before everybody else is there and do the work. "Oh, but I'm not getting paid for it." Who cares? You're gonna get paid for it through the knowledge you're acquiring, right?
Right, and ask questions and
Mm.
be the person that says, "Okay, I'm gonna put in a little extra time. I'm gonna put in a little extra effort." And ask the people that are the leaders who, you know, because if you wanna move up, basically, you wanna take their spot, and they should be fine with that because actually that's like leadership 101, thanks to Dale Carnegie. He said, "You always wanna hire people who are smarter than you because you want them to take your spot so that you
Mhm,
can move up." Like, it's kind of like you got these people that are trying to push up and everybody keeps going up, right?
mhm,
So ask the people who are your leaders and your mentor, like who you hopefully are also good mentors. And if they're not your mentors, find one, a coach, and
Like
and
you.
right, and talk to them about what you can do to level up your game.
I
Like,
love it.
what do you need to do? And I'm going to be the first person to tell you that this is something that I wish I had the tip of when I first got out of college and
Mm,
along my career in corporate America was, I wish somebody had said, Jaclyn, just find that coach or that mentor as soon as you get out to help you level up your career and your life and keep a focused track. I had dreams, I had visions,
mm,
but we got derailed because, hey, you know what? I'm a 22-year-old kid who just got out of college living in New York City, and we have goals, but you know what? There's a lot of fun there too. So,
mm,
how do you stay on that mission and that path and have the work ethic that I feel like we've instilled like in my son and that we can instill in others, you know, to go that extra step?
mhm,
And one of the things that I love communicating with people is what can we do together to help you be
mhm,
unstoppable, help you be that great leader? What is it going to be that we can do together to hold you accountable so that when the end of the day happens, you put your head on the pillow and you're like, you know what? It was a great day.
I love it. I especially love when you said to ask the question. So I want to share this with you. Take a look, and then I have a question right after. Take a
Okay.
look.
In a world where words shape destinies and connections forge futures, this November 22nd to the 24th, Speaking Prowess brings you the ultimate hands-on workshop. We have a lineup of some of the most influential communication experts in the industry. These are the voices that will guide you on a journey to enhance your ability to connect, influence, and succeed. Sifu Raphael, master instructor and founder of Speaking Prowess, blends communication and leadership to help you reach your full potential. Richard Walsh brings his strategic and tactical expertise to deliver rapid, lasting results for your business. Dr. Oliver T. Reed, the international multi-best-selling author and motivational speaker, known as the Writing Coach, will help you craft your messages with precision. Jose Escobar, a nationally recognized speaker and leader, will guide you in mastering personal development and leadership skills. This is more than just an event. It's a game-changing, skill-building experience. Walk away with communication prowess that transforms your personal and professional life. Speaking Prowess, where communication becomes your superpower. Reserve your seat now.
So the question that I ask is if you can take 3 days and enhance your communication skills, that will propel your wealth, your growth, both personally and professionally, would you do it?
Of course.
So then everybody should come to New York,
Yes,
November
they should.
22nd through the
Yes.
24th. The problem that people have sometimes is they don't know how to ask or they're afraid to ask. Right.
It, they yes, people there is a trepidation. I don't want to necessarily say fear, but there's
Mm,
a trepidation of asking, whether it's for help or for insight or some may say constructive criticism, you know, because we don't want people to think that we're not good enough or that we don't know.
mm,
And so or they think of it's like a sign of a weakness. I always would say, if you don't ask, you don't know. Asking questions is the key to getting better. Because
mm,
how do you know? And I used to love like when I was in the corporate world and people would, and I always said, oh, can we do like a 6-month review? Like, I want to see what do I need to work on? I
Yes.
want to know. Like, could you give me a review every week? Because I would love to know. Like, what did I do well this week? Not that I wanted someone to pat me on the back. I just wanted to get better. And so
Mm,
how do we get better? We're all, life is always about learning, right? And I always, when we're in college and you're in a production class and you're learning a productivity, what are they, they always talked about the whip, right? We're works in progress. And that
mm,
stuck with me. As you're working on something, each and every one of us is a work in progress. And we should never stop being a work in progress because we should
mhm,
always be learning, always be looking about how we can be the better person of ourselves. How can we do things? How can we make our lives, that wheel go a little bit smoother around? How can we do it a little bit better? And it's asking questions and seeing about where we can grow and where do we want to grow?
mm. I love, and if we can bring that back to mission, which is
Yep.
what you've been talking about, because you need to ask the questions of yourself. Am I doing or taking the right actions to comply with the mission I'm on, to
Yep.
go forth with my mission? Is everything I'm doing, your son is doing those things. Because he has a choice. When that clock, if he even wakes up with a clock, I don't, but he has a choice in the morning. Do I go to the gym? Do I go do the things that I'm supposed to do to become that person? This is my mission. And if a lot of times say, a habit is something that sometimes is picked up so easily, smoking, cursing, all these negative things are so easy to get.
Right.
But when it comes to getting up early, when it comes to being disciplined with your food, when it comes to being disciplined with your workouts, those are tougher for people to accomplish because they did not put their mission
Right.
ahead.
Right.
They're not looking at their mission daily. Maybe they said it once in a while. Hey, I
Right.
have a mission. And yet, yeah, there you go. Look at that. Beautiful. Every day, your mission should be in front of you.
Yep.
What is my mission today?
So I have something on my wall you can't see because I can't move the computer that way.
No problem.
But it says, um, who can I help today turn their passions into profit? That's a question I ask myself. And then I have this written out on a card. And I say to myself in the morning, I read this, it sits on my computer, and it says, I will be consistent using my special gift of connecting people together so that I can help them accomplish their greatest dreams and for me to be a sought after coach. And in doing so, achieve the best fulfillment, which is making memories with my family and friends.
Wow, it's beautiful. It's
So,
beautiful.
but I have it written down. I mean, I can say it to myself and I know it.
Mhm,
Sometimes the words come out when I say it to myself a little differently, but it's all the same thing. But for me, like connecting and is like one of my superpowers. And I look at
mhm,
people and I try to help them find their superpowers and we would try to pull those out so that those are the things that they can use their strengths, right?
mm,
So when I read this, it makes me smile. It makes me
mhm,
so excited about what I'm doing. And when I think about helping people turn their passions into profit, and I'm not talking about knitting. And of course, if it is somebody knitting, that's great. But it's about what drives them. What are you passionate about? It's helping
mhm,
them to find that mission and know that it's what they're going to be doing. And if you want to sort of like add in a tip is what is your mission? And you just shared this. What is on your calendar for the week? And is what's on your calendar aligned with your mission?
mhm.
And one of the things that I have my clients do is send me their calendar at the beginning of the week so we can look at it
Yeah.
and say, okay, what's on your calendar, and is it tied to the mission? Is it tied to your goals? If it's not, if there's something on there that is not tied to your goals, maybe it's something that you could either delegate, delay, or it does need to get ditched,
Mm.
right? Does it need to go into the do column? Now, somebody asked me the question. They said, "Well, what about things like doctor's appointments and things like that?" I'm like, "Oh, those are always part of the mission because that's your health,
Mhm.
right?" You know, um, you know, a haircut, things that you need
To
in
feel
a day
good.
to feel good. That's part of it,
Mhm.
but it might be the conversation that you're having with somebody or a meeting that you're having, and you're like, I'm doing it just because to help them. Okay, your
Mm.
mission and your goals help you also use the most important word in the English language, and that's no. It allows you to say no, or allows you to maybe say it a little bit nicer. "I am so sorry, but I don't have time," or "I'm so sorry. I don't have the time in my schedule right now. Maybe
Mhm.
we could revisit this in 6 months."
Yeah. It is a powerful word. But yes is so often what people say because they're people pleasers,
Yes.
right? There you go.
Right,
Yes.
right. Right, that's true.
But, to have clarity in your mission, we need to know when to use certain words, right?
Right.
So that's why for me, communication is such a big part of what I do,
Yeah,
and why I have a communication center, why I inspire people to look at everything they do, because it's the words that we say to ourselves. It's the words that we say when that clock hit, the alarm goes off. You go, "Oh, another 5 minutes." Those are the wrong words, right?
right,
Another 5 minutes. Oh, another 5, another 8, another. You're delaying your life.
right,
Those are my feelings. Therefore, I don't even have an alarm clock. I don't even have a clock by my bedside, because if my body says you're up, I'm up. Sometimes it's 3 in the morning, sometimes it's 4 in the morning. So I allow my body to wake up ready and on the mission to change lives.
yeah,
Every morning, the other thing that I do, and I'm not trying to be religious, but I pray. The minute I go from a sleeping state to awake state, I start praying, and then I thank the Lord for the gifts He's given me. And then I also ask to please allow me to share these with other people. So those are my rituals every morning, every evening, in the middle of the day. Sometimes I'll be driving, I'll just pray, and then I'll say, "Thank you for these things." And then I'll think of my family, my kids. And without gratitude, how can we help someone else? If I am grateful, it's hard for me to be mad when I'm grateful.
right,
Can you imagine, right? I just said, "Oh, please let me share my gifts." And then somebody says something like, "Wow." I was like, "Wait a minute." That doesn't coincide with what I was just saying to myself. So it's those personal words, those thoughts that we have, your
right.
affirmation that you do every morning. You said it
Yeah,
gives you a smile. It's
yeah.
beautiful.
And it's and I love that your mission is communication because it's part of my LEAP framework. The
Mm,
L is leverage communication because
mhm.
it's, as you just said, it's the words we say to ourselves. And it was, I'm like, "Oh my God, I say that all the time." What we say to ourselves really matters. So when we get up in the morning, how can I make today a great day? Whose life or what lives can I impact today? And know that, having that, as I call it, your mission mantra that you can say to yourself every
Mhm.
day are the words that go into your brain that help, ignite the inside of you so that you do feel great. You do feel on purpose.
Mm,
And that's, you know, that is to me, the words that we say to ourselves, we need to level up that communication is one of the most important things, because it starts, that's the mindset, that's how we
mhm,
feel about ourselves. Like, are you the train that could, or are you the train that couldn't? And
mm,
most of us want to be the train that could, but what did the little train that could say? He said, I know I can, I know I can, I know I can. And he said it to himself,
mhm,
right? You know, and you think about you think about like great movies, like some of the kids movies, right? So obviously that's Thomas the Train. Think about Lightning McQueen, before he started a race, he's like, I am speed. He was talking to
mm.
himself. I am speed. So if if you think about that, it's like that subliminal message to say, what are you saying to yourself every single day? Like, I can impact lives. I can help leaders change lives.
It's very interesting when we can impact anyone who comes across our path. And I see you do it beautifully. I had a 5-year-old tell me the other day, actually, they were walking by, and another time when they were doing something hard, they said they were nervous. And I said, turn the word nervous to excited. And they looked at me. And then the other day they were walking past me and they didn't say it to me. They were actually talking to their mom. And the mom said, are you nervous for today? And the child said to the mom, no. Seafood told me that anytime I think I'm nervous, to turn it to excitement. So I am excited. And that touched my heart so much. If I can share that with a 5-year-old and it was instilled in them, that particular word. Then I have another mom, because I teach kids, I teach adults, I teach anyone who's in front of me. I would love to teach them, right?
Which is great.
And I had another mom come to me and she goes, you know, I love what you said the other day. My kids are now saying yet, the word yet, such a simple 3-letter word. And I'm actually going to make t-shirts for them to say, I'm not there yet. I was like, wow, that's beautiful. And she did make the t-shirt. She's pretty, but and then she's always incorporating, because now when I do teach my martial arts, parents are allowed to be in the room. Actually, if the parent doesn't want to be in the room, then I don't take the client.
Oh,
I don't take them. I do not. If you're not going to be in the room with your child, you cannot be. I had a parent come in and go, they did the trial class, and I said, listen, one of the things that we do here is all the parents, you see all the parents, they all have seats. You're going to participate. You cannot drop off your child. We're not childcare, and you can't go shopping for the hour or whatever it is. And the parent said, well, I thought this was where I can drop my kid off, so I'm not going to join. I said, well, best of luck to you,
right.
because your child, you're not going to see your child grow if you're going to go drop somewhere else. Why on earth did you have a child? I didn't say this to him, but I said, okay, thank you. If you ever change your mind, we're here. And this is the mentality that I have. But I have to portray that to all my clients, and all my clients are there. They're listening. Sometimes they're even writing down the things I say to their children. Their children are repeating it to them. And I don't just teach punching and kicking. They can go anywhere for that.
Here.
I'm teaching them character development. I'm
Mhm.
teaching them how to be a better person, because I use martial arts as a vehicle to create well, not create, they've already been created, but to
Right.
help them
Yeah.
become great humans, right?
Yeah. And it's so important. I mean, I think about that is just beautiful, because I think about, my son had taken martial arts for a bit. And honestly, the only reason why we ever stopped was the guy who had the studio brought in his beautiful dogs, and my son is highly allergic.
Ooh.
So the dogs were getting on the mats, and anyway, blah, blah, blah. But
Ugh.
it was, I mean, and if we had, I mean, we probably would have, he probably would have still, anyway, been doing it. But we watched, and it was the greatest pleasure to see your kid on the mat and watching what was happening, what they
Mm,
were doing, as you just said, seeing their growth. And then when he went and did his, the belt, one of the belt tests, and he earned the belt. And you
mm,
just, that sense of pride. And it's that same type of, to me, it's that same communication when you're as a leader, whether it's developing a kid or you're developing another leader on your team. It's all development and
mhm,
it's words, and we want to watch the growth. We want to see that. We also want to celebrate it. And we want to be there to cheer them on and not just be the person that's like, okay, pick you up. I mean, there's
mhm.
different things for that. Like, you know,
Correct.
right. Like my kids skied. I don't want to be the one teaching them
Mhm,
because, but it was amazing for me to hear the instructor say, "Okay, your daughter or your son just went on the go-go." And you're like, "My 3-year-old went on the gondola?" Like,
mm,
and you're just like, "Wow." And you can celebrate that, right? I
mhm,
mean, there's a time to watch and see it, but then there's also to celebrate them.
mm,
And martial arts is it is about character. It's not just about the punches, it's about the lessons that you're giving. And I always thought the mission, and when you heard the words um being shared and that what they were instilling in these kids, it was like it was very powerful.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. It's interesting when, see, for me, the reason I want the parents there is because I want the kids to have a partner when they go home,
Yeah.
so they can the parents not only do I teach the kids, I'm teaching the parents how to be a partner,
Yep.
right? And I know a lot of martial arts schools don't do it. I wish they would, because a lot of parents, they're not the connection between a parent and a child, wow. If they're doing things together, it grows. If the parents are just there watching, okay, I get it. Oh, wow, you hit that baseball. Good. Nice. Can we go play catch now? Or
Yeah.
because the parents should be, and it doesn't have to be martial arts. It
Right.
could be anything, and the parent can talk about it, show them videos, say, do this, do that. I saw this, this will help you. And when we can create a connection, because guess what happens? When they're young, the connection is there. They become teenagers, they want nothing to do with you. And then later on, when they get their brains all set again, then they want to be part of your life,
Yeah.
hopefully. Right?
Hopefully. Right.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
As
Hopefully.
long
Right.
as you've been a good parent, right? And
Right.
the one thing, and you're amazing, by the way. The one thing that does not come with a child, it's the umbilical cord comes, but there's not a script of how, or a notebook on how to raise them, right?
Right. Right. No, and sometimes people say, "Oh, there should be there's lots of different books." But a lot of times it really has to come from your heart and what your character and what things you want to instill and in your kids and your family. You
Mhm,
know, if you want to have a different lifestyle and do things different than when you were growing up, what are some of those things?
yeah.
If you don't want history to repeat itself, what will you do different?
Oof, huge. We are talking about family and kids and so forth and martial arts and everything else, but it all really comes down to being an unstoppable leader. And you're so amazing when what you do with your clients. I love the fact that they have to send you their calendar, because it really makes them think about one of the most important things, that if it's on the calendar, it should be important.
Right.
If it's on the calendar, maybe I can just slack during this time. Maybe I should actually take this action that I said that I put down, and oh my God, Jaclyn's gonna ask me about this. I better take this on because I already sent her my calendar. Oh no. And when she asked me, what kind of an excuse can I come up? No, don't come up with excuses. Come up with successes, even failures are
Yeah,
success because at least you tried it, right?
right. And so one of the things that I actually ask my clients to do, when I look at their calendar, I will go back to them and say, okay, well, where's your time? Or where's your planning time? Where is the time? One of my clients made some comment about her boyfriend. And I said, I don't see him on your calendar. Like, where is that? Where are you spending time with, where are you spending time
Mhm.
with him? Or another client was going to work out. And I said, okay, well, you've got it out here on here once, but one time is not going to do anything for you, really. I mean, it's not bad. It's doing something, but working out should be, even if it's 10 minutes,
Mhm.
something to move your body.
Yeah.
Like, where is that happening on your calendar? And so let me see it twice. At least let's start with 2 times, and then maybe we can build up to 3 times.
Mhm.
you know, um, where on your calendar is dinner? And I'm going to be the first to tell you, like this week, we had a lot of crazy stuff going on, and there was no dinner on my calendar except for last
Mhm.
night when we had a wine dinner that we were going to,
Mhm.
but breakfast was on my calendar. Like
A
when
time.
a time, like,
Mhm.
where is that community time? Because I really believe that we've got to find time to connect with our family, and sometimes it's first thing in the morning. you know I would much rather be up at 5 o'clock in the morning so I can make sure that I'm drinking a cup of coffee with my son while
Mhm.
he's getting ready so that we can have some time together. So
Yeah.
you've got to find you find the nuggets. The calendar has to be with things that are related to your business, your family. What are the non-negotiables have to be on there, and we need to see them. But then I always like to say too, like, let's define those buckets. So like one of my
Mhm.
clients shared, it said making calls. I'm like, okay, well, who are you calling? And what are the
Mhm.
calls? Like, just because you said calls, who? What?
Yeah. Yeah. Why?
What, right. What's the purpose? Like, who? And we want to know why are we making these phone calls? And let's define the people. Have you
Mhm.
planned the phone calls? Because the planning should happen on Sunday night.
Mhm. That's right. It's interesting. On my calendar, I have focus time.
Mhm.
That's what I call it, focus, right? Because I'm focusing on being with family. And that's a time that somebody goes, oh, can you do this? I'm like, well, let me look at oh, can't do it at that time. I'm sorry.
Nope, right,
What do you mean? This is so important. I said, yeah, I know. Thank you. But if we can't find another time, then I'm sorry. And
right,
sometimes like you said, the hardest word or for people to say is no, but it should be when you have a mission, it should be the easiest word to
right,
use because that mission drives us to say the yes or say the no or say the let me look into it, right? It's defining our moments because we have so little of them,
yeah.
right? So
I
somebody
mean,
says, so if somebody says, yeah, I'm too old, I'm like, yeah, you should die right now. I'm like, what? I said, yeah, you have nothing left to live for. Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, yeah, well, stop saying you're too old.
right,
I'm too old to do that. I'm too old to do this. I'm like, so are you living? How many people have found, by the way, this is going longer than I've ever had a show. You're amazing. So I think you and I are going to have a 3-hour show. So I was talking to somebody and they were telling me how old they are. And I'm like, did you know some of the most famous people who've done great things started way 20 years older than you? And they're like in their 40s. I'm like, you're old? I said, when did you actually die? I'm still alive. Well, how old do you want to be when you die? I never been asked that. I said, well, consider it. My great great grandfather lived to be 113.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Incredible. Incredible.
That's awesome.
Me personally, I want to kick his butt. I'm going to go for more than that. So at first I said 125. And then I said, with technology nowadays, with AI and all these different things, but I don't want to live a long life if it's not a productive and I'm viable and I'm not helping. I'm not doing what the Lord has asked me to do. So the minute I can't do function that way, then I should go. Right. But
Right.
yeah, definitely want to beat my great great grandfather.
Yeah, so it's funny. My grandfather lived to be just shy of 101, and one of the biggest things that he did every single day was he walked. So that's where, to me, like, movement is so important. We need to move our bodies every single day. And whether you're on a bike or you're walking or do something, go walk, move your body every day, something. And that's, to me, that's so important. And I think it's very true. Amazing people have done amazing things after 65.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm in my 50s and I'm like, I don't feel like I'm in my 50s. I still feel like I'm stuck in my 30s somewhere along the way. You know, that's, great things happen. Sometimes it's a journey. And so where are you on that journey? You know, I think I think you know, there are statistics out there about, what people have done after 60. A lot of people have these second careers. You have your first career, and then they go on to do amazing things because maybe they had some time to decompress and rethink and become creative and slow down, and then something other great thing happens. So, you know, I think about my husband's uncle is he has a lab um, at a university, and I think he was like, there's one of don't quote me on the stats, but he's like, he got a grant,
Mm.
and for like a million something dollars, and he was in his 90s.
Mm.
I mean,
Incredible.
don't stop. Like,
Never.
you know, age is a number.
Mhm.
It's a number. But what matters, as you just shared, is, what do you tell yourself? Are you telling yourself you're too old? If you tell yourself you're too old, guess what? You're gonna be
You
too old.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all what you
Or
tell yourself. Again, goes back to communication, right?
yeah, or I'm too young, or I'm too short, or I'm too fat, or I'm too
No,
whatever. When we put limiting beliefs on ourselves, that we are telling the truth,
right,
because your limiting belief becomes your truth. You
right.
need to break that barrier and start telling yourself. So it's the words we use.
Yeah.
Jaclyn, you and I, my dear, I've had fun. This has been so much fun. I can't wait to have you on my other shows for sure. Definitely come on Speaking Prowess.
Oh, I
Definitely,
would love
definitely.
to. This has
Yeah.
been absolutely phenomenal.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you got up so early, and I know that you get up early anyway, but
Yep,
you did it for me, and I appreciate that. And I don't think you just did it for me, because I think you're on a mission to help so many people. So thank you for your
you're
mission.
welcome. No,
Yeah.
thank it's such a pleasure, and it's been such an honor to be on your show, and I'm so glad that we are now connected.
Oh, absolutely. Let's do great things together. What do you say?
I say yes.
Do it. Let's do it. All right. Thank you. Don't go away. But everybody else, have an amazing rest of your day. And it is Friday. Make
Yeah.
it a great one, everybody.